This is John Paul Rai coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and I got a story here about how Johnny Depp texted something pretty nasty about Amber Heard, but wait, there's a lot of details to go over here. Some people think it wasn't verified, it was taken from a bunch of information, possibly out of context, so we're going to go over all of it. I took an article, I kind of cut it up and redid it in Photoshop so it looks nice and pretty, and we're going to get to that, plus a subscriber comment I thought was pretty relevant and had some good info for the story. So here we go. Here's the first part of the article here, and by the way, this will be linked below in case you guys want to check out the full thing. Raging Johnny Depp texted that he would burn and drown ex-wife Amber Heard and then F her burnt corpse during their volatile relationship, a court has heard. Previously unseen 2013 messages alleged to have been sent by the Pirates of the Caribbean star 56 to actor friend Paul Bettany were read out in London's High Court on Wednesday. Depp, who attended the hearing, was in the room and his texts to Bettany were read aloud. He allegedly wrote on November 6, 2013, "Let's burn Amber, the court heard." I think they said that twice. Alright, so that is pretty nasty, but let's keep going with the details. Depp is heard saying, "I left last night. Honestly, I swear to you because I just couldn't take the idea of more physicality, more physical abuse on each other, because had we continued it, it would have gotten effing bad. And baby, I told you this once, I'm scared to death. We are a effing crime scene right now." So he did hint towards him at least doing something back to her. Was it in defense? It's impossible to say 100%, but it's looking like by their personalities, she does seem like the crazy one. He later states, "If things get physical, we have to separate. We have to be apart from one another. Whether it's for effing an hour or 10 hours or effing a day, we must. There can be no physical violence towards each other. All I'm saying is we need to take whatever time we need. You need, I need to kind of let things settle for a minute so that we don't effing kill each other or effing worse, effing really kill each other or effing break up or whatever." So Johnny does get pretty unhinged. He doesn't hold back on the F-bombs, that's for sure. In the U.S. legal proceedings, Heard has previously alleged violent Depp became the monster on drugs and booze, then beat, strangled, and tormented her. She stated Depp repeatedly hit her, ripped out her hair, choked, and nearly suffocated her in a Virginia court filing in response to his $50 million defamation lawsuit against her. He strongly denies her claims, arguing she was the aggressor, and that's what we have the proof for with the audio, things like that, just with her like personality and her craziness. That's the main reason I'm taking Johnny's side. But like I said, there's no such thing as 100% taking someone's side, because we gotta leave room open for some facts. But like I said, obviously, it's looking like she's the one who did most of the crazy stuff. And again, I gotta keep going back to the finger getting cut off and her taking a you-know-what in his bed. That's some crazy, crazy stuff. In the U.S. court filings, Heard stated that she began dating Depp in early 2012, and about a year into our relationship, I began to witness Johnny abusing drugs and alcohol. That could mean a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of people drink a lot, and to be honest, a lot of people do all kind of drugs, and that depends on what the drugs are. I'm not going to get into it here, but I think things about drugs are usually exaggerated unless... Alright, let's just say things with drugs are usually exaggerated. Whenever he was using, I worried for both of us. He would become a totally different person, often delusional and violent. Well, she needs evidence on that. That's the thing. We need some evidence. We need some examples of that. Because the recordings, and that's what we have to go by, and his personality in court, were pretty calm and pretty collected. We called that version of Johnny the Monster. Johnny often would not remember his delusional and violent conduct after he came out of his drunk or medicated states. Because I loved Johnny, I'd believed his multiple promises that he could and would get better. I was wrong. Now, I'm going to say this. I do believe in some way she probably loved him. You know, he's this famous, world-class, unique movie star, and I think part of her probably did love him. It's just, my guess would be she did not know how to handle that love, and that love turned into this sickness, and her abusiveness and her craziness came out. Inconveniently for the Sun, here's what Mr. Depp actually said next in his text, that he could never harm Amber. I am admittedly too effed in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Wanowski said Depp is accused of screaming obscenities on the flight as he slapped Heard in the face, kicked her in the back, and threw a boot at her before allegedly passing out in the plane toilet, which I'm sure Okay, I guess we had one witness for that if it was a private flight, but again, I mean, if it's a court, we need some kind of evidence for these things. We can get a look at faces, we can get an idea who's telling the truth, but basically we're going to have to go by what we have some kind of evidence for. Depp denies he was drunk and abusive during the flight. The texts were revealed in court after previous lawyers for Depp had accidentally shared 70,000 messages from and to the actor with the newspaper's legal team. I'm not sure how that happens. 70,000? That's a lot. I can't think of a place where I have 70,000 texts, or anybody I know has 70,000 texts sitting around collected in one place. Maybe they'd collected them for the case and it's not just, on social media, on their phone they use all the time, but that sounds like a hell of a lot of text to me. So now I'm going to get into a comment by a subscriber here, and thank you Nibs very much, catching a lot of videos. The media are supporting the Sun by covering two alleged text messages Mr. Depp sent to Paul Bettany before he and Miss Heard were married. The messages are edited out of 500 gigabytes of text and they are not verified. Which was the interesting thing to me. I mean, yeah, I guess they have to be verified by the company that they actually sent, things like that, and hopefully, I'm assuming they have screenshots. I didn't see anything here that said they had screenshots, so we'll see when the court date comes up. I looked into the stories and they all cite a single story from a tabloid, page 6, written by Emily Smith. The Sun gave Smith her first job. They hired her as editor of The Sun, the U.S. edition. No stories mention her connection, so she is literally a shill for The Sun, attempting to put them in a good light. It won't fly with the English court. It is just more character assassination, but it's frustrating. So that is the article you guys can check out by Emily Smith. And Nibs here is claiming she is a shill for The Sun, which very well could be. So here's the thing. We need to go by complete evidence, alright? Anything that's just like he said, she said is really not that easy to be a complete piece of proof in court. And the thing is this, we get a little bit of hint of Johnny maybe getting involved, but I think it's probably him pushing her back or something like that, because she seems to be really nuts. Like, if she's, I don't know, breaking a vodka bottle over his hand or maybe taking a crap in his bed, like, any human being on the planet would have a really hard time not reacting at all to that with some kind of, like, anything. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a pure paladin to, like, just let that stuff go. So I could see him maybe pushing her away or something like that. Kicking her in a plane seems like a stretch. I've never seen anybody in any plane ever get physical or nothing whatsoever, and I've flown on a lot of planes in my life. But hey, that's just me. Alright, do a shout out. Shout out to Viper Chief 117, great supporter, got a cool channel. Appreciate it, sir. As you guys can see, this is the end of the video. You guys let me know what you think below, because there's so much info in this one. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I got a lot of free time in March, so I'll probably be reading up on this. A little more detail. But I'm a hack. Remember, I'm not perfect. See you next time.